Hi, my name is Andrew. Thank you for visiting my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to take a look at scraped investor databases and why they are nothing but trash. I'm recording this video because one of my clients contacted me and said they recently purchased a database of 1,000 venture capital investors, and over half of them ended up going right to spam, or the websites were inactive. So the first thing I want to do is make sure that you understand that this is the problem. There's a lot of people selling this garbage, and I have a pretty good solution on how to fix it. So if you've ever been offered a scraped venture capital or family office database on Fiverr or Upwork, you've probably been sold outdated data, useless, or even fake. That's usually the fake stuff. Now let's talk about why these lists fail and what real investor data looks like. So the Ultimate Institutional Investor Database, introducing a rare database of institutional grade investors sourced from my exclusive database of over 400,000 global capital professionals. So for the first time ever, this powerful resource is available to help you access capital like never before. This is a database that is combined with 3 institutional grade databases. It's very rare. 0% of it is scraped. So what is the scraped database scam? Well, are you thinking about buying something from Fiverr, Upwork? Maybe you're looking to start your outreach for your project, whether it is a real estate or a startup, and you want to do things on a bit of a budget. So you find somebody that says, oh, I can find you 1,000 leads. It's only going to cost you $75 or whatever the case may be. You can see these all over the internet, all over, but a lot of times they're based on databases for venture capital firms. Family offices is the biggest scam, and angel investors probably the next one in line. I know because I've purchased a lot of these before I actually was able to acquire institutional grade databases. So let me save you some time and money. Scraped investor lists are a scam, and I'm going to show you why they don't work and why they can even hurt your fundraising and what the real investor databases look like. So basically how the scraping works is scrapers pull names from LinkedIn, old press releases, news articles, and outdated directories. Now they can give you hundreds or even thousands of names, but here's the problem. Up to 50% of those people no longer work at those firms. Many aren't decision makers. Some could be interns, analysts, or back office staff, and none of it tells you if the investor is even active in your sector. Family investment offices are one of the key scams, and there's 2 or 3 groups that sell them, and I'm not talking about the institutional guys. I'm talking about 3 main groups on the internet that sell them, and I'm a victim of them because I purchased most of them. I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on family investment office databases because they're very valuable, and a lot of my clients are looking for that type of access. And the problem is that they're scraped. And even if a website, it could be a wealth management firm that says, we help to protect your family with their investments. Well, just that alone gets scraped and gets called family investment office. Well, it's really not. So those are the things that you have to really look for. My story of the family investment office is really, really simple. I purchased one of them that had 4,000 contacts. This database cost me a few $1,000s, and when I spent about a week on it going through every single website and then verifying them using email cleaning services, it turned out that there was about 865, these are US only, that could be qualified as real and verified. So out of 4,000. So could you imagine if you've got that list, you've spent maybe $1,000, $1,500 for it, and then all of a sudden you realize you've got to do all this work to get to a point where you're up to 865. Now luckily I've done that for my family investment office database, and I'm working on it for years, and I clean them regularly. So these are the things you have to look out for. And again, whether you're buying it from somebody that's already scraped them, or you're meeting somebody that will sell you smaller lists for $75 here, $100 there, they're all the same. So what does real data look like? Now here's the difference with verified databases like institutional grade ones that I use. So instead of a random scrape list, you get access to a verified and detailed resource. My core database has 400,000 verified investment professionals. I also have another venture capital, private equity, investment bank, hedge fund database that has around 250,000. So these are institutional grade databases that cost tens of thousands of dollars per year as far as subscriptions. So they're real, and they're actually, a lot of them are traced. Now my databases are active up to about April of this year. Don't update them every year because there's a great expense to do that, but they're very, very accurate in that case. So the contact details, current and compliance check, deep contact, sector focus, deal history, assets under management, and fund stage. Now that's the information you actually need to connect with the right investors. Now on the right hand side, this is obviously the extreme case, but this is something you can see online. 10 million high net, they don't even have, it's high net investor leads. Verified database, only 999 rupees. Buy now. Now, of course, I put the most extreme one here because just to show you. Does that look credible? $11 US. The verifying cost alone of the emails is going to cost you $2,500. So that $11 isn't really much of a deal, is it? So let's take a look at the database. Okay, before we go to the larger institutional databases, here's a few databases that I've actually created for clients in the past couple of years, and they could be in sectors or countries or depending on what source I have. So over 140 databases. These are institutional for the most part. There are a lot of angel investors. You can see we've got real estate family office, we've got REITs, we've got SAS, a large amount of tech, clean energy, climate tech, you name it. There's been an awful lot of these type of databases that I've worked on for clients, and I usually start off with the institutional database, then I break it down to the smaller one, and then we can generally work it even on a smaller day. Now these particular databases really relate more to VCs and private equity groups. There's some investment banks in here. Now let's take a look at the larger institutional database that I use to build the smaller ones. Okay, so first I'm going to start off with the institutional database that I use to make all the smaller databases for clients. Again, this is we talk about the difference between a scraped database and a real one. Obviously, you take a look at this one, it's very clear. So I'm at the very bottom now. This is the full database, 99,213 funds. In other words, funds that have already probably raised capital to be deployed or are in the process of doing that. This is very much a historical list that goes all the way back to about 2007. So we really only focus on 2022 and up because those are the funds that are actually in the process of deploying or will be deploying probably up until about 2028. So you've got about 3 years of runway with this particular database. So you can see the fields here. I'm just going to go, it's 24,000, about 800 funds globally have been launched since 2022. We'll take you right back up to the top here. So you've got the name of the fund, you've got the background of the fund. So again, you're getting information that you're not going to be able to get by generally scraping. This one here, for example, O1 Ventures is an early stage fund managed by O1 Ventures. The fund makes investments in deep tech companies across Europe. So relatively good information, inception date, the asset class, the strategy, whether it's early stage, venture, growth, really important buyout. Then you've got the primary region, North America, Europe, Middle East, etc. You've got the status, whether it's raising, whether it's closed, first close, second close, that sort of thing. Fund size, fund manager, of course, is really important. You're going to see that coming up on the next slide. So again, none of this stuff you can get when you scrape a database or a website. It's just impossible. You've got the fund structure, core industries, which is important. If I scroll over to the right a little bit more, you're going to get more information about the industries, the industry verticals, the date it was added. So a lot of this stuff is really important. And then of course you're getting over here to the country, the website, and email. Now keep in mind that's the corporate emails. You're going to see how you can actually reach these particular contacts, key contacts within those databases. If I go to the contacts page, so you go see the contacts page, we've got 412,000 contacts. You can't scrape the internet for 412,000 contacts. What happens with most of these type of investment banks, venture capital, family investment offices, real estate investment firms, and so on, is they'll have a list of the key contacts, but you're not going to get their email in almost 90% of the cases. So that's the difference between this type of institutional grade database, and that means that these particular people want their name on it, because this is not in the public domain, this particular type of database. So they don't want to get spammed. These are on this database so that professionals who are looking to raise capital or looking to network can actually make those contacts. You can see on the left hand side you've got fund manager, firm type, whether it is funds, investment banks, family office, you name it. You've got their name, you've got their title, you've got the asset class that they may be focusing on, and then of course, because it's a global database, you're going to get more information as far as where they're located. Now, another important thing to understand about a database like this, if their name, for example, this database is around a little over 400,000 contacts, but there's 277,000 emails. If you find a situation where you want to contact a firm and find the right person who should be working with you, one, you can contact that person with the email, or the exact person, like for example this one here, you may just take his name, copy it, put it into LinkedIn. The odds are that if they're with an investment firm, they're going to be in LinkedIn. And of course, because this is recently updated, you're going to be all right. You're going to be able to make contact. There's another thing that's important about this particular database. Last week, I was contacted by the private equity group that I also am involved with, and we're in the process of raising funds for a company. Right now we're looking to raise $50 million. We have an investment bank on board for that. The investment bank wanted us to find the contacts for 10 groups that are big investors in the sector that we're trying to raise capital for. So you kind of get what I'm coming at. Now, you can't scrape for that. I'm sorry. What my partner in the private equity group sent me to list the names and said, Andrew, can you find the contacts that we can get to reach out? Within about 1 hour, I was able to get about 450 names, because these are larger firms. Their positions, their key contact, the asset class, their emails, you name it. So now our investment bank, who's really charged with going out and doing the outreach, has got that list, which they didn't have, and it would have taken a week or two for somebody within their firm to try to find it if they don't have this type of database. So that is the key difference between a scraped list and a professional institutional grade database. One quick key database disclosure. Now, my extensive database library provides hundreds of thousands of global contacts, typically including LinkedIn profiles, emails, and websites, though not all details are complete. Now, they're primarily compiled and updated from 2021 to 2025. Most of the updates have been in the last 2 years. This corporate resource may include contacts whose roles have changed. It's designed as an excellent starting point for outreach. It's best leveraged and continually refined by organizations with dedicated data teams. Now, this database comprises a blend of individuals and companies, each with distinct investment criteria and operating conditions, so there's no guarantee your approach will be favorably received. Note, this database is available to corporate or institutional groups only, no personal sales. I hope this has been helpful. For more information on my databases and fundraising services, click my Fiverr link below. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.